Maybe that's what Podrick did to those girls.
High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her ghost.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at Easter eggs, important moments, and theories from the newest episode of Game of Thrones.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be taking a look at Season 8, Episode 2, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
All my life I've known one goal, the Iron Throne.
Number 3, the title sequence tracks the White Walker's progress. Winter is here, and in case we needed any more indication, Season 8's new title sequence drives the point home. The redesigned intro features a lot of new content, including the interiors of Winterfell and King's Landing, and new Astrolabe bands. The bands illustrate the destruction of the Wall, the Red Wedding, and show 4 dragons with a shooting star. As we zoom through the breach in the wall, the sequence also tracks the Army of the Dead's progress using blue tiles. In Episode 1, these had only just reached the last half, and we all know how that ended.
I hope the Night King doesn't come first.
In A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, these blue tiles completely surround the last half, and are inexorably flipping over towards Winterfell. Expect them to advance further in Episode 3's opening sequence, and hopefully stop in their tracks by Episode 4? Yeah, probably too much to hope for. Number 2. The Stark and Baratheon houses finally joined. Arya and Gendry, together at last. In George R.R. Martin's original outline for the book series, he had Arya falling for Jon. Their illicit passion would continue to torment Jon and Arya, he wrote, throughout the trilogy. Fortunately, Martin changed his mind about both Jon and Arya and the whole trilogy idea, or the show would have been a lot shorter. Arya and Gendry's hookup actually fulfilled a hope laid out in the very first episode, just not in the way that anyone expected. In the Crypts of Winterfell, Robert tells Ned that the Stark and Baratheon houses should be joined, although he thinks that it'll be through Joffrey and Sansa.
We were meant to rule together. If your sister had lived, we'd have been bound by blood. Well, it's not too late. I have a son, you have a daughter. We'll join our houses.
Instead, it could be brought together at last through Arya and Gendry.
Why your blood?
I'm Robert Baratheon's bastard.
If they live long enough to make anything of it. Before we get to our top moment, here are some of the best lines from this week's episode.
I fought for you, didn't I?
Arise, Brienne of Tarth, a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
I stole a considerable number of books from the Citadel Library.
Number 1. Jenny's song. Storytime with Tormund offered one kind of surprise.
I killed the giant when I was 10. Then I climbed right into bed with his wife.
But Pod had yet another up his sleeve. Turns out that this new badass Season 8 Pod can not only fight, but also sing. Eat your heart out, Eddie. The song he chooses is all too fitting. The Jenny of the song, Jenny of Oldstones, was the wife of one Duncan Targaryen. To marry her, Duncan gave up his claim to the throne and broke off his betrothal to a Baratheon daughter, inciting a short-lived rebellion. He was killed at the tragedy at Summerhall, when King Aegon's experiment to bring back dragons burnt down the castle. In the books, the song is sung to a wood witch who's probably also behind the prophecy that the prince who was promised would be born from the bloodline of Aerys and Rhaela Targaryen, Daenerys' parents and Jon's grandparents. Some readers think the song was actually written by Rhaegar and was one he sang to Lyanna.
Everyone told me he was decent and kind. He liked to sing.
In other words, the story behind the song basically includes all the major elements behind Game of Thrones' plot, and maybe hints about its future.
Wanted to leave, never wanted to leave, never wanted to leave.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.